Assalamu alaikum, dear friends and students. I hope you all are doing well. Now, today I have a very important guest, and let me introduce the guest first. आज बेसिकली हम एक बेहद ही होनहार तालिब इल्म से आपकी मुलाकात कराने जा रहे हैं, जिसने बेहद छोटी उम्र में बहुत कुछ हासिल किया है. I mean, he could be among youngest scholars in India who has just completed his Ph.D. in physics from the University of Kashmir. Yes, dear friends, I'm talking about Dr.Aashiq Hussain Bhat. Dr.Aashiq Hussain Bhat has been awarded by the Ph.D. just a couple of days before from the University of Kashmir. आज हम उसके साथ बात करेंगे. उसके साथ बात करने से पहले हम थोड़ा आपको ब्रीफली बताएं. ये आशिक साहब एक village से belong करते हैं. He belongs to district Bandipora, and he has had a very exciting academic journey in his life. Now, अब हम उन्हीं के ज़बान से सुनना चाहेंगे कि उसकी जर्नी के बारे में, उसकी academic journey के बारे में. So we are directly in conversation with him. पहले मैं I am very thankful to Dr. Aashiq for taking time and talking to us. Now, I hope these kind of conversation, and we believe that these kind of conversation will inspire people to do something very good in their lives. So thank you for joining us for this conversation.
Thank you, sir.
So before let's begin with the first question to our guest, Dr. Aashiq. पहले हमारे audience के as far as our concern, most of our audience are students. Tell us about yourself. Kindly inform us who you are and how you started your academic journey.
First of all, thank you for inviting me to this meeting. As far as my academic career is concerned, I started my schooling from a government school here in our village, government high school, Vijipora. At that time, it was not a high school. Now probably it is a high school now. Till primary schooling was done in this institute, and then I had my middle class schooling in MD School Hajin. It was a private institute, and after passing my 8th class examination, I joined ML Higher Secondary School Hajin. It is a government higher secondary, and I completed my 10th and 12th from the same higher secondary. In fact, I was the topper of the whole higher secondary in my 12th class with the subjects physics, chemistry, bio, and mathematics, with general English also. Then I moved to the college in Srinagar, the Amar Singh College, Srinagar. I completed my BSc in the subjects physics, chemistry, and mathematics from there. I was also a topper in all the three years from the college in my stream. Then I appeared in the entrance tests at the University of Kashmir for MSc program in the subjects of physics and mathematics. Fortunately, I was selected in both physics and mathematics at that time. It was 2014. And I joined the university for my MSc program in physics in 2014. And I then topped all the 4 semesters of my MSc physics program in the Department of Physics. And for that, I was also awarded 2 gold medals by the university authorities. I qualified the JK set exam also during my MSc course. MSc course was going on, and I qualified for this JK set exam. Then in 2017, June 30, I guess, yes, it is June 30, 2017, I officially joined my PhD program under the joint supervision of Professor Manzoor Ahmed Malik, and he's from Department of Physics, University of Kashmir, and Dr. T.K. Ramkumar. He's a senior scientist from National Atmospheric Research Laboratory, Department of Space, ISRO affiliated. And I carried on my research in in the atmospheric physics. To be specific, it is ionospheric physics. And I also qualified for the Inspired Research Fellowship during my PhD program. Little bit we'll talk about this Inspired Research Fellowship. All the toppers from all over India are eligible to appear. First toppers, second toppers are not eligible. And the competition is amongst all those university toppers in a particular subject, say physics. Physics वालों का competition physics वालों के साथ ही all over जो toppers होते हैं universities के all over India में जितने भी toppers हैं physics के उनको अलग से competition किया जाता है. उनके जो toppers होते हैं those are selected for this Inspired Research Fellowship, and they are called as Inspired Fellows. So I am the first Inspired Fellow from the Department of Physics, University of Kashmir, and I have been enjoying that fellowship for near about 5 years during my entire PhD course, I can say. And recently, I have completed my MSc, PhD in physics, and I have been awarded with a PhD degree on September 20, 2022. And this is all about my academic journey.
Right. So, Dr. Aashiq, I could see, and from your records, we could also see that you have a very fascinating academic journey. I mean, from your academic records, we could see from school level to the university level, you have had an exceptionally high grades in whether in 12th, 10th, or graduation, and even MSc. You know, you have the golden medal. Now, can I say, may I ask you, usually what we in Kashmir, usually what we do is that those students who have high percentage of marks, especially at 10th and 12th, we force them to go either to the medical or to the engineering. And plus then after, if at all they are able to complete the graduation, they are being in a way, they go into the civil services. Now, I believe in my assessment as a teacher, I could, from your records, you could have made easily any among three. Now, how come you have chosen a path which usually people don't choose? Either they go for medical, or they go for engineering, or at most they go for civil services. So, what made you to choose this academic journey?
To be specific enough, physics you are asking, sir?
I am talking about, for example, you were not attracted by medical profession at the 12th, then into the civil service. You chose physics or science or academic journey. So why you actually chose it?
One thing I can first of all say, first thing is the lack of exposure is there. This is the first thing. So I could have easily gone to the medical stream. But there was not enough exposure. Actually, I didn't appear in any of the entrance examinations at that time. I had not that much of exposure. I could have maybe I could have competed with all the candidates. I had a belief, but a lack of exposure, I can say, first thing. Second thing, I had a love for physics. It developed right from my 9th or 11th, I can say. I, along with one of my best friends, Sheikh Javed Ahmed, we used it to talk in the ground during evening times, and we could see the stars. And this time we can say the meteors they're just falling. We just wrongly guessed that stars are falling, basically, so which doesn't happen to be. But that thing very fascinated me. Also, the motion of the stars. Some stars were bright, some stars were not bright. Also, sometimes the lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, these all the things I was interested in. So I had a general interest in physics, I can say. Then later on, I appeared in this one of the KS exams I had appeared. I could not, I was in my PhD course at that time. I could not prepare well, but I qualified the prelims exam. And then I skipped the mains examination because I had to focus on my PhD program. So I just thought to focus on this one and not to leave it.
Okay. So let's come then to your research journey. I mean, as I could see from the dates, You are among the youngest scholars in the country. Now, how fascinating was the journey? And tell us specifically what was the area you were working on?
Uh, the journey has been quite fascinating. It was a lovely experience during all these 4 5 years. We had been doing research during nighttime observations we have been doing. So it was very much interesting. So my main research area is the atmospheric physics, and to be specific, it is the ionospheric physics. Uh, I detected the ionospheric irregularities over the Srinagar. We have a device installed there, which has been installed by NARL, National Atmospheric Research Laboratory, ISRO-affiliated institution, I already mentioned. They have a device, all-sky air glow imager, which is worth cost of more than 1 crore. It detects the gravity waves and ionospheric irregularities. So these are just technical terms which perhaps the audience may not be able to understand. So I will try to put it into the simple words. We have, for example, the ionosphere is one of the main layers of the Earth's atmosphere. It is very important layer. You might all have heard about the layer which is called as the ozone layer. And we all know that it protects us from the ultraviolet rays. This is not actually the enough story. Above this layer, there is a very much important layer, which is ionosphere. It absorbs more harmful radiations, which are much more harmful than ultraviolet radiations. That it absorbs extreme ultraviolet radiations, X-rays, and so on that impinge from sun towards the Earth, which can seriously affect the health and it will easily lead to the extinction of the life on Earth. So it is a very important layer. Also, this ionosphere, it is a very important in the sense that the radio communication signals pass through it. The GPS is working on the basis of this GNSS. They are working on the basis of they are passing through the ionosphere. International Space Station, it lies in the ionosphere. It constitutes many of the electric currents also, so it is very important layer. As far as the development or technology is concerned, or the communication facilities are concerned, we look for the just like we know exactly where our position on the Earth is, or timing of at any time. So it is very important for it is very important to help us in timing and positioning on Earth. So to keep them working good, the ionosphere should behave uniformly. It should not be subjected to any kind of disturbances. But somehow the disturbances are there, like solar flares sometimes exist, geomagnetic storms sometimes, or the gravity waves, which which penetrate from the lower atmosphere to the upper atmosphere, or from the Earth's troposphere, I can say. So it is very important to keep track of those irregularities which are present in the ionosphere. So I have detected several kind of irregularities that are present in the ionosphere during the night times, and that can sometimes lead to the disruption of the satellite communications or so on. So it is a very important field. Also, one more important thing we have observed is the gravity waves. Gravity waves are very important also. So our weather forecasting models are there, which are not sophisticated enough to give us accurate weather forecasting predictions. So we should be incorporating the various parameters, like gravity wave is one of the parameters which needs to be incorporated in those forecasting models, so that our forecasting systems can be better. For the betterment of those forecasting systems, we should also keep track of the gravity waves. Even sometimes there is one effect which is called as a butterfly effect. Even if the wings of a butterfly, if a butterfly moves its wings, it can sometimes lead to the stopping of a tornado or a cyclone or so on. It can change its direction. It is a very huge thing. It's a very huge statement, basically. So in gravity waves are a very small kind of fluctuation, small kind of disturbances in itself. But as I mentioned, that butterfly effect is there. So gravity waves are more larger scale than that thing. So it is very necessary to keep track of them. So the devices for that, we are tracking the gravity waves and ionospheric irregularities from the Srinagar. And I have published as many as 6 research papers. One of the research papers is in the scientific reports, which is in the Nature publishing.
Okay. So good. This must have been very exciting and very tough also. So, of course, these are technical terms, and only people who are in the field they will be able to understand these terms. But congratulations for doing such a good work. Now, coming to our the end of this conversation, tell us about, for example, can you generally tell us what are the general things, for example, before someone will go into the research as a scholar in any university or any science institution, what should be sort of qualities of a person? I mean, what are the kind of hurdles you face, and then as a scholar, what you should be ready to face as a research scholar?
Yeah. Hard work is the most important thing one can say. And once you start your task, make sure that you are committed to it. If one is not committed, it is going to be very difficult at the end. So yes, sometimes the difficulties may be there. You can get stuck many a times to succeed. But one has to defeat the laziness, the ignorance, or whatever difficulties that come around. Also, one important parameter is the personal passion and the interest level. It is a very key factor. And one should not basically isolate himself, and one has to be in contact with the people who are experts in the field and learn from them. So isolating yourself, it is not going to work. So you should have a proper discussion with the supervisor, like other supervisors maybe there, or some of the experts which are available. Online interactions are there. Just like the researchers reply to the emails, write a polite email to any researcher. He can easily guide a student. There is no harm in actually emailing a professor, and no matter if you don't get a reply sometimes, but at the time, if you try, we are trying different people, you can get help. So one more important thing is that you should not isolate yourself, be in touch with the experts. Also, PhD is basically, it is a challenging task, but no matter the outcome, you will gain ultimately, and you learn a lot. And all I can say is have patience and work hard.
Okay, so Dr. Ashik, at the end, may I ask you, was there any teacher in your journey actually who in a way inspired you to do all these things? There must have been a lot of teachers in school, in colleges, and even universities. Do you remember anyone, especially a teacher, who has really inspired you to an extent that you did your PhD in physics?
There are many. There are many, basically. I can not name all, but some of them I can name. First, it starts from my home. My brother, Feroz Ahmed, he has inspired me. He has made me to work hard. I thank him. I acknowledge all his helps he had provided. I acknowledge all the guidance he has provided. And first, it starts from the home, my brother. Also, then at a school level, who basically lead me to get into the science field, Naeem Muzaffar from Hajan. Naeem Muzaffar is the person from Hajan who basically inspired me to the science. Then at the college level, it was Professor Muhammad Amin Malik who helped a lot. He provided me the books, sometimes internet facilities. He used it, I used it to stay in his home a lot of times. And then one and all important is my research supervisor, Professor Manzoor Ahmed Malik. Uh, and he has inspired me a lot. He has worked very hard over me. And during my MSc course itself, he used it to basically teach a class as if he was teaching only 1 or 2 students, including me. And then under his guidance and under his supervision, it was a very fascinating journey. He helped always. He is helpful, quite helpful all the time. Suppose you have to sign a document and you go anytime, say by 8 p.m., 9 p.m., anywhere on the road, anytime. He used to sign on the document. I very much acknowledge this fact that I send research papers to him for correction. he just took a day or a couple of days at the most to correct the research paper. Not many people do that. People take months or years together to complete correction of a research paper. So it was all his hard work. Also, Dr. T.K. Ramkumar from ISRO Center, he has helped a lot. He has installed the device here, and that made our research possible. So I acknowledge all of my teachers, and especially the ones I mentioned.
So with this, not only you will acknowledge, we also acknowledge the contributions, because we are doing this conversation on the eve of International Teachers Day. We also acknowledge, of course, at the end of the day, teachers shape us, they make us what we are. Maybe we are born brilliant, but they make us what we are, what we end up doing. So I'm also thankful to your teachers who inspired you to go into the science and then into the physics, and then doing a PhD from a physics from the University of Kashmir. And plus, then I'm also thankful to you for taking time and talking to us. I'm sure that this conversation will inspire a lot of people in the days to come. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much.